Hello, beautiful people. Hello, this is Sherry and Truth. Get nice and comfortable. I'm just going to start. Whether you were referred by a friend or you just are supporting because you know it's probably going to be a very good product if I have created this, or you just bumped into me online somehow, some way. Well, I don't think it's by accident. And so I just say to you, welcome to actually my first official YouTube live. Okay. So I'm Sherry and Truth. And I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a life and health coach, and my specialty is work life wellness and balance. Two different things. My mission is to empower your life, your wellness, and your confidence in God to co-write your comeback story. All right. So I want to tell you a little bit about my company, Champ Restoration. Champ Restoration is a Christian life resource focusing on work life wellness, balance, and maximizing your overall well being. Okay. Now I have a community. The community is called the Restore Tribe. And that community, we offer events and dialogues, virtual dialogues, in person soon, centered on supporting your emotional health, illness prevention, and stress management for career women leaders. Now, today I'm going to be sharing with you how can I make your life better. Like I said, you already know that I serve primarily career women and leaders, and some very smart men who understand what I have to offer. But I just really want to make this clear that I pretty much serve people who wear many hats, people who have people of faith who wear many hats. And typically, what people are doing, they plan. When you have a general planner, most typical planners, you're planning for other people. You're planning for your family. You're planning for things that you have to do for your team or whatever you lead, whether it's your business or whether that's whatever it is. And then you're last on the list. Now, I'm gonna tell you, on my watch, that's not happening. That you're gonna be last on your own planner that you purchased with your own money. That's not happening. So, what I want to offer up is the Restore. I'm sorry. What I want to offer up is the Well Rested Leader Planner that has you in mind, that has you to focus on powering up all the things that allow for you to be powered up to be a force out here in this world, and to be a force to make sure that you're taking care of your household, right? That actually comes first before that outside world. But you're a force. Therefore, you can only be a force if you're girded up, if you've armored up, if you've powered up. And so I have some framework for you, some systems for you, so that you are able to be just that. Okay, the dominant force that you are destined to be. So I am going to now explain what I think a well-rested leader, who that is, the characteristics of a well-rested leader. Okay, so all right, I have to have my notes for this one. Okay. So the well-rested leader, right? So anyone who considers themselves a well-rested leader that I have the privilege of working with, this is a poised professional who is Holy Spirit led and makes a profitable impact everywhere they go. Since she enjoys a fulfilling personal life, she can maximize her influence in her life, her family, and her work. That's it. That's the definition. Now I'm going to move forward. I want to really get into the 10 things, like the 10 ways this planner can be helpful to you. Really, 10 ways you know that this planner is for you. This tool is for you. Okay, so again, we all established that Champ Restoration and the Restore Tribe is full of career women who and leaders who are emerging or who are established leaders, and these professionals wear many hats. But they need inner peace, or they need more inner peace, or they want to sustain their inner peace. They need boundaries, clarity, and strength. Okay. Now, I must say before I go on, the Restore Tribe before the pandemic, was a little more involved because we had activities that really a little bit different from we've realigned, and a lot of the things that we discuss or conversation, honestly, it is not the same as what I am sharing with you. So now I'm starting all over again, and that's that. So on all transparency, the Restore Tribe is kind of rebooting again. Okay, so how do you know 10 things that this is for you? Okay, number one, are you a stress professional? You're under constant pressure. That's number one. Okay, so you might say, well, everybody's stressed. There's different levels of stress. When you're responsible for other people, when you're responsible for legalities, when you're responsible for building up people, when you're responsible for, a whole organization or part of an organization, that's some stress. But all stress isn't bad. If you have chronic stress, now that's where it is not really great. So we want to learn how to manage stress, but any chronic stress, we want to deal with that. So number one, are you a stress professional and you're chronically stressed and you don't know how to manage the pressure, right? So that's number one. Number two, do you simply just want a better quality of life? Like you're doing okay, but you want a enhanced quality of life. Perhaps you have children and you want to be a role model in the best of ways. You don't just want to be the woman doing it and barely doing it. So that's number two. Number three, you're exhausted, but here's the deal. Now you're scattered. You're a little bit scattered. You have a cluttered mind because you have all these things that you have to do and all these responsibilities, and a little unorganized and scattered. Okay. The next one, if you want to reduce procrastination, then stick on here, because that is definitely something that I struggled with for a couple of different reasons. But one of them you might say is decision fatigue, but there's some other reasons, and I'll get into that later. But if you're like sick and tired of yourself and you're like, look, I really want to put rubber to road and get some traction and get some things happening. There's so much. How do I even navigate that? Well, I humbly say to consider this tool. The next one, you're tired of being indecisive, meaning, there's such a thing as cognitive overload, and you really want to be able to reduce that with some systems. And I give you personal systems that's going to work personally for you so that you don't have to be as indecisive, because you have a flow in the beginning of your day, you have a flow throughout your day, and at the end of your day, you have a flow. And because of that flow, because of the systems, it helps everything else. You're able to stand up and be clear about what you need to do for you, and feel real good about it also. And so that impacts everything else. You be able to have capacity to make some great decisions. Okay. The next one, what number is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. 6. Maybe you are unrecognized and unappreciated in what you do. You're leading. And yes, I know you're not leading for accolades and kudos, but you do know that you're underappreciated. You do know, and it's not that you're looking at the grass as the other grass and say it's greener. You know that you're put there for a reason and you have a resolve about it, but doggone it, you're underappreciated. So usually people feel like this, if it's the truth. But also, when you realize you have a mission, you would just go ahead and focus on appreciating yourself, caring and loving upon yourself, recognizing and congratulating yourself. I'm really big on not surprises necessarily, but celebrating yourself. Celebrating yourself. Surprises aren't bad either if they're good surprises, but celebrating yourself just because. It doesn't have to be you finished the 10 points in that project. You finished part 1 and you know where you're going for part 2. that's something to celebrate. A lot of times people put so much pressure on themselves because they haven't gotten it all done, and you get wound up. Anyways, being just underappreciated and unrecognized can really, as my buddy says, churn your butters. Okay. And really, we're going to unclench the hands and, just start to celebrate yourself and appreciate yourself. And then you're really not going to start to pay attention or to care. You're going to be a little bit more unbothered about other people. You're going to recognize it, you're going to know it, but you're going to be a little bit unbothered about that. Next. Okay. This planner is for you if you are in toxic, chaotic environments, or you've inherited a team that needs a lot of work. Okay. You definitely need to keep it together and keep yourself gathered if this is your situation. That's pretty clear. The next one, you just, like I said before, to some degree, you want to enhance your quality of life. So you really want to establish better habits. Better habits. You wouldn't have tightened up on what you have, and you do recognize some blind spots. However someone pulled your coattail, or that there's just maybe you get so wound up that your attitude's a little funky and you really don't care for that. And so I definitely can help you with that. I can definitely help you in a better life in regards to that. Okay, next. You find yourself complacent and you want to break the cycle. Basically, you want to level up. You want to level up, and it's not always about a program or something like that. Sometimes it's just, once you got a great tool in front of you and you use it yourself, and things start to take care of itself. Okay. The next one is, and this is the last one. Yeah. You lack confidence, and you're trying to be perfect. I knew that well. You're trying to be perfect, and you gather some insecurity, and you're having a lot of doubts, and you're having uncertainty because you're not doing things to what you deem as the level of perfection. And that's a nasty, nasty, nasty cycle there. So what I want you to consider is that, hey, you're not perfect, and that's just fine. God made you imperfect, and He is perfect, and He perfects. So as you grow in Him, that you would grow higher and higher, you would mature, and that is a beautiful journey. So do not worry about being doubtful. Know it. No, oh my gosh, this happens. This thing tries to wrestle with me. But you're really going to have to do some work, and I call quiet work. And we'll get into that in the other days. Some quiet work to basically annihilate that, because that is not for you to house that spirit of doubt and insecurity and all of that. Like, that's not for you. That's not yours. And so once you start to deal with that and you start to heal, then the confidence in God starts to come. And we can get into that later another day. But anyways, those are 10 ways that this planner could be for you. Okay. Now, here are just a couple if this planner is not for you. And I'm going to be quick about it, because if it's not for you and you feel it and you know it, that's all right. Maybe you could tell a friend about this. Okay. Number 1, you hate accountability. Planner's not for you. Number 2, people, you don't really see the importance of reflecting and growing and resetting your current lifestyle. You just kind of like, I am what I am. This is not for you. Number 3, if you do not desire to slow down, if you feel like hustle culture is like where it's at, if you feel like, you're only going to sleep when you die, this is not for you. Because here, it's all about slowing down and being still to reset, and then get a certain level of precision and direction and precision and power that comes with hearing the Lord and being able to move with such a confidence, because you know that you got these amazing ideas, and it was not because of you. It was because the Lord who's higher. Thoughts are higher, ways are higher. So it's a win-win. But if you don't want to slow down, it's not for you. Next, you have no desire for discipline. If you don't want to grow in discipline, not for you. Second to last, if you don't care to explore or apply biblical principles, well, then at this time, this is not for you. Hopefully, you change your mind. Okay. And the last one, if you're not concerned about premature death at all, you just like, hey, this is not for you. All right. And so that's it for today. I just really kind of wanted to introduce myself, this tool, how this can help your life. And yes, another day, I'm going to be on here back to back to back for several days. And another day, I'm going to talk about tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the experience you can have. I'm really going to give you, explain what a well-rested leader, with some of the perils that they can face or some of the challenges they can face, as we're going to dive and take a look, a biblical story. And that's that. If you have questions, leave it in the chat. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe here to the Restored Tribe. I keep saying that. Look, I do have a Restored Tribe YouTube page, but that's really for people who, you can take a peek over there. That's for people who are kind of in the program. They're in the mix already. But here's is a nice entry page, The Well-Rested Leader. Feel free to subscribe to both if you would like. But take a look. The Well-Rested Leader, this page, subscribe. And I thank you for watching to the end. Talk to you later. Who does that anymore? I don't know.